Motherfucker. Not only did I get cut off on the last video, but then I made a whole nother video and then I didn't realize that it wasn't recording. So, this is really going to be short because I'm sick of talking about the same things over and over and over again. Because this will now be the third time. Oh, 8:42. Oh, yeah, anyhow, so stayed up way later trying to make my last, well, not the last one, but the last one before that, upload, and it wouldn't post. And then I realized when I got up at 5:45 in the morning that I'd had that issue in the past and that all I needed to do was log out and log back on. I was like, Jesus, if I would have had this clarity the night before, I would have gotten a little more sleep. But the last time I was cut off, previously on the last time I was cut off. Oh, and by the way, Nick, tech support, please, because it says I'm not having enough memory on my shitty Crackberry. So, perhaps I just need to delete other videos, which I've been trying to do, like the longer ones. I don't think I need to keep the other ones around, I guess, since they are forever loaded on the tube of you. But, yeah. Tell me what to do, like always, because, you know, you're the go-to guy for geek shit. So, yeah, I wanted to discuss Zoe, spelled properly, because I didn't like Zooey at all. I hated it. And I don't know off the top of my head what the dots above the E are called, but I've decided to call them paw prints above the E. So, anyhow, I love her. Lindsay. I've been trying to have a cat exchange. Black cat exchange. And if Angie were still one of us, we could mix it all up, but she's not. I'm not going to say she's dead to us now, but kind of. She's just dead to 842, so she's not also then involved in the cat swap of 2012. But Nick won't do it. I don't like my black cat, and I really like his, and he won't give her to me. Please convince him. Yeah, you've never, Nick, ever given the story behind. You claim she's a rescue cat, and if she's not, that's fine. It's not like I'm going to freak out or anything like that. But, like, what's the backstory? What's going on? What was the deal? Was it just, oh, I'm moving and I can't keep my cat anymore? Was it like one of those? I'm assuming it was. Also, wanted to see if she still had her fingers intact. I am a advocate of save a paw, don't declaw, which I'm sure you both know is evident by the furniture at the Meadows, which I'm getting new furniture in a couple months. I'm so excited, and I'm so excited for them to destroy it. That'll be a fun process, but yeah, Nick, I was just wondering, does she have claws? Does not. If so, at her age, keeping in mind I used to work at clinic, the older they get, the more painful it is. It's like, you know, can you imagine being circumcised when you're like 20? It would hurt a lot more because you would know that it's going on instead of when they're younger. Which I know it's a cat. They don't really know what's going on anyhow. Whatever. Okay, also, I do need to agree with Lindsay on a second reading. Or Nick, did you say the second reading? I think we're just really curious and want a second reading of your Goodnight iPad. And I would like to see it set. Like, lullaby music playing in the background. The iPad, like, propped up on a pillow. And then Nick sitting next to it reading. Like he was an actual father. But he's reading to his iPad. That's how I'd like to see that scene set. But, Nick, do what you want. It's just a suggestion. I have a couple things. I am just going to mention this for the third time, that Nick saying that he didn't want to discuss defining moments. I think we all know what his defining moment was. The day that he packed up, wasn't it the blue car? Packed up the blue car and just simply drove to Boston. you know, that would be considered a defining moment. And at one point, he told me that it was because he didn't know how to break up with Anna, and so that was his like way of doing it. Then, kind of look how that turned out. But look how well it turned out now because everything, otherwise you would not have met the Rachel lady friend, so thank goodness you have. Because I love her. Not in that way. Not in the same way you do. Um, and speaking of Rachel, you had said in your posting that you've invited her to participate. And I mean, were you just talking about the gifts? Or, she's been in some of them. But yet you directly told me that you do not want her to be able to make her own private postings. So I'm a little confused there. Which, I mean, either way is fine, but I definitely get your, boundary issue. But your change of heart, is it because of your new living situation? I don't know. And is Rachel aware of what started 840, what 842 means? Like, the reason the channel was named 842? And for that point, also, Lindsay, are you aware? Because if you're not, I think Nick could give you a very good description. I would do the same if you need to know. We'll let you know. Lastly, I was intrigued by the boxed set of Lost because, we always like to mention Lost in every post, make some sort of reference. But initially I thought that maybe Lindsay had made it up in her mind and that it didn't really exist. And I don't know that it does exist still, but it sounds like it would be fun. And you said it was like a treasure type box full of island stuff. And I just want to know what kind of island stuff is in there, because there's so much that could be in there. And when you open it up, is there a light that comes shining out at you? Yeah, so do tell on that. Also, I think that would be a nice send-off present for you going to LA from your friends at 842. So Nick, I'm going to put you in charge of locating this item and then also paying for it, and then getting a card and signing it, from your friends at 842, except for Angie, because, once again, she's a quitter.